Vanilla Minecraft theme parks are, well, kind of a letdown. Most rides have a very similar rail design, and the rest are just plain unrideable. But with the new lead mechanics, the possibilities for fun and unique working ride designs have exploded. So I've set myself up on a mission to one by pushing the capabilities in vanilla to their limits, build every possible working amusement park ride in Minecraft, and place them all into one beautiful theme park. Well, beautiful is a strong word right now. But I mean, I'm beautiful, that's for sure. Look at me in my little construction outfit. As you can see, there is a little bit of infrastructure already. It's already done. These two rides were already built in one of my past videos where we explored using leads to make hanging rides. So I built this working carousel and this hanging dark ride where you fly a pig over different landscapes of Minecraft. But since we're starting a brand new series, I wanted to get it started off with these two rides that I've already built. I just gave them a complete makeover. This ride has a brand new facade and sign. It is only a single pig instead of two pigs in a boat. I created some nice archways. I built these fake windows here with a bunch of different pig decorations. These are supposed to be like carrots growing in a pot. Of course, our main sign has a pig. Fly a swine. That is the name of the ride, and he has some wings with some glass. I made some actual queues along with a place where a ride operator could stand. And then of course we have the carousel, and well, it's not on right now, but I can turn it on very easily. I can just hit this lever up top and it's going to send all four pigs going around in a circle, starting the ride, and you can ride it just like that. What is he doing? Eating the lead? And if you would like to see the on-ride POV of Fly a Swine and how I created these two builds, go and check out my past video, but for now, let me give you a quick little demonstration. For every ride we will be building in this series, I would like to create a demonstration board where I can show you exactly how you can create a ride like it in your own world. Starting off, you need a mob that you can ride. Horse, donkey, mule, llama, skeleton horse, zombie horse, camel, or pig. All of these will work. And once you have that mob chosen, you're gonna need a setup sort of like this. Any mob in a minecart up top, and then the mob that you're gonna ride on down below. I always use pigs up top because they're small, they're easy to work with, and they're pretty cute. It doesn't really matter what mob you choose, it's not gonna be visible. This is all gonna be up in the ceiling of the ride. Then what you can do is get a lead, and you can lead your ride vehicle up to the mob in the minecart. It's important that you do it in that order. The mob that you ride on up to the mob in the minecart. And then you're going to want to set up a button to start the ride. This button just triggers some redstone going up to the top to make the power rail turn on. So if I get on the horse, I press the button, it's going to start. But yeah, that's all it did. If it had more rail, it would have continued, hopefully. But this is not going to be the only option you have for hanging rides. The other option looks a little something like this. At the top of this one has a pig in a minecart in a boat. So the difference with the boat is that you don't need any powered rails whatsoever. It's gonna go and it's gonna continue going around the track all the way back until it hits a block. So the way that you can start and stop this one is with some pistons, with some blocks. You trigger this button and it's gonna open up the pistons and it's gonna let the minecart free to go around the track. It's important that you start with the pig first, put the pig in a boat, and then put the pig in the boat in the minecart. And another ride vehicle that you can also use is a boat, but only if there are pigs inside of the boat. If you're in the boat, it's not gonna work. You have to be on a pig in the boat. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a lead on the boat. So if you do F3 and B, you can see the hitboxes. You don't wanna lead a pig or else it'll take it out. Put a lead on the boat, go up to the top, and shift click the lead onto the pig. Perfect, there we go. Now we have this hanging ride design. If we get on it and we press the button, which is in a very awkward spot. Okay, I've moved the button up. It's much better location now. This is what the redstone looks like. It's very simple. It's just 3 redstone torches. That is it. And the pistons. Get on a pig. You press the button. It's going to start the ride. And there you go. That's all. That's it. That's it. It's very simple. I promise it's not that hard. It's just about the order you lead things in. That's what's important. Okay? Got it? Got it. And you may be wondering, this video is all about hanging rides, right? And you already have 2 hanging rides built. So what are you going to even do in this video? Well, I have a little bit of an idea. You may have been wondering when I looked at the ride vehicles, would a happy ghast be possible for a ride vehicle? Well, let's see for yourself. So this pig is pulling along this happy ghast. just fine. But if I get on the Happy Ghast, well, unfortunately, the Happy Ghast now stays in one spot. What the heck? But what will work is if you ride on a mob below the Happy Ghast. I can ride on this pig all I want, and the Happy Ghast will still be controlled by the pig above. And what will also work is you can ride on the Happy Ghast if the Happy Ghast itself is the mob in a minecart. That's pretty cool. And you can also hang from a Happy Ghast if the Happy Ghast is the one in a minecart as well. So yeah, Happy Ghasts are kind of useful, but they're a big headache. Let me show you why. I would like to build a hot air balloon ride. And you see this, it looks like a hot air balloon, especially if I got this pig off of here and instead put the pig in a boat and led the boat to the Happy Ghast. That looks like a hot air balloon, and then you can ride in the pig below. And this is what I wanted to do for this video. The problem is the entire ride needs to have a ceiling, and it's gonna have to go over the limit of where the Happy Ghast can go, so it doesn't go over the top. And so that's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to build a giant ceiling, and then we can have them go around in like a circle, like this, but bigger. So yeah, let's see if we can make this work. We're gonna continue this boardwalk a little bit this way and a little bit this way. I'm not sure if we will on the other side, but I want to build the Happy Ghast hot air balloon ride right in this spot here. I want it to go over the top of the water on the back side. All of this area is all subject to change. All of these path outlines are very rough. Yes, it is very, very large. Hopefully I will actually be able to complete this thing. It is a very massive project and it kind of looks like a flower. So I was thinking our park could actually have a name that is flower inspired. Let me know if you have any ideas in the comments. Okay, sorry about that blabbering. Let's get started with our Happy Ghast hot air balloon ride. All right, so we're trying something a little bit different here today. I am in flashback and I'm just gonna watch myself go at 20 times speed, and I can do a little bit of a voiceover while I watch myself. Look how fast of a builder I am. I built this giant disc and built a circle of rails in the center of the disc for the pig to go around in a circle. And there we go. The pig's in. The Happy Ghast is connected to the pig, and look how fast he's going. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Well, we have a ride and it works. He goes around in a circle, and yeah, you can really ride it. Let me ride on the pig. Yay, so much fun. I'm so high in the sky. I'm going above the water. Wow, it's so scary. There's a couple big problems with this ride. I want this to be the weenie for the boardwalk area, something big to draw you through the area to disperse guests. If you have weenies at the back of each section, then it will disperse all of the guests to the different areas. But I have to move it down, that's for sure. It's also floating, which you're kind of supposed to float on a hot air balloon, but like the structure probably shouldn't be floating. Yeah, I think we have more of a basis of what we want. Let's continue working. I started off by moving the entire platform downward, and oh my gosh, that lead is so broken. And then I added some rings within the ring and destroyed the center to make it one medium-sized donuts for the Happy Ghast to go around in, and then he can't go around, like I said. And then I built ourselves a little platform for us to get on the ride from. That way we can click the pig, get on the pig, and start the ride. Oh, you're so excited to go on your ride, aren't you? All right, we've got ourselves a working prototype. Get on the little pig, press the button, and now we're moving. Look at this. We're going over the top of the water, and now all it needs is to be decorated. We need to make it look like it belongs with the rest of the theme park area. I forgot to hit record on this next little time-lapse bit, but I just made these couple little clouds. I want to just build clouds around the entire ring, covering the pig so it's not visible at all. Make it look beautiful with these fluffy clouds. So I just continued around the entire ring, building these clouds one by one. This took many hours. Yeah, it was not fun. I might be a little bit exaggerating, but it was a lot. It was a lot of cloud building. But once I got the shape of all of the clouds done with just some white wool, I went around and textured all of them, adding some pearlescent frog lights, surrounding them by snow for the brightest parts, And then for the darker areas, I went for smooth quartz and some stripped pale oak logs. I took it as if the sun was coming from this direction, shining down on the clouds. All of the brightest parts are on this half, and then the darkest parts are on like this half. They really don't end up looking perfect until I do the final glass bits with the glass panes and the glass blocks. That makes it look so much more fluffy. And then once I had all of the clouds textured and glassed up, I removed this entire rail section and replaced it with this one. It's not gonna work because look at all these little bumps on the clouds. It's gonna get stuck on them. It got stuck on them quite a few times, and then the lead just got pulled right off. It stopped working, it broke. So what I did is I added a track. So this glass block circle is the track that the Happy Ghast stays alongside, and I realized that this isn't enough track. See, it got stuck and it broke off again. So I added another track on the inside. There it is. Look at that track. And then next I got to work on a rainbow. I knew I wanted some kind of rainbow to be part of this build. You can't have clouds without a rainbow. I ended up getting rid of that rainbow. It kind of sucked. And I went for a much bigger rainbow. So I just started off just by making a bunch of circles in a row using the Axiom mod. And then I went through with some glass panes and just textured them and colored them in stripes. I used the copper chains with some lightning rods connecting up to the rainbow, and then I outlined the structural supports I wanted for the clouds to be connected down to the ground. I added a circle of frog lights down here so that the Happy Ghast would be sort of lit up because he's pretty dark when he's underneath the clouds. And then I brought the supports all the way down to the bottom of the ground where I used andesite and eventually ended up on some tuft blocks to decorate these structural supports to make them nice and pretty. I made this ladder using chains all the way up to the top and then a little walkway up here. I ended up moving the redstone line that powers the ride in through the center supports, and then I finished up by decorating this little support that connects the redstone up to the ride. A few days later, and this is where we're at. We have ourselves some beautiful fluffy clouds and a big giant rainbow going across them. We also built some support pillars. Oh yeah, supports. And the entire ride system works. We can press this button, get on top of our little pig, and here we go. We're going on a hot air balloon ride all the way around in a circle. Pretty slow. Oh my gosh, did it just break? Okay, yes, there's still a lot of work to do. I might have to expand the tracks a little bit. But I want to say we have a big problem here, and that is simply scale. Our clouds are way too big and too low to the ground. Look how high the rest of the clouds are in the game. So they are going to be very difficult to build stuff around. Like, let's say I want to have a tree underneath the cloud. I'll build it this tall. It's going to look very odd. My gosh, guy, this ride is terrifying. Imagine this is what you had to ride on. But yes, there's still work to do. I want to make this entire thing fit the theme of the boardwalk. Make it look beautiful, make it look like a ride that looks wonderful to go on. I want to go on a hot air balloon ride over that cool stuff. And we're starting off our final time lapse where I added the third outside rail so that the Happy Ghast will never escape. Look at him, he's struggling. And then I decided the button makes much more sense to just be on the ground in the center. It makes it easier to press from the pigs and it's all hidden underneath the ground. So I ended up moving my little hot air balloon design over on the sides, and I thought it could be a nice little sign to show off what the ride is from a distance. Then I came over to the boardwalk area. I didn't want it to all just be the same old oak plank, so I added some logs within there, and then I started work on a wall. I wanted all of this to be walled in down to the bottom of the water, and then I decided some jungle stripped logs looked better for the walls, along with some packed mud and mushroom blocks underneath the water, and then I just copied that design across the entire boardwalk. And then I got to work on the ride itself. I wanted to make a little town that you fly over the top of in a hot air balloon, so I worked on a little miniature house design, and then I made some roads using cyan and terracotta, connected them all up to make little circles of little places. Made a bunch of different copies of houses, which I then went and made a bunch of different variations of using different blocks so that they all looked a little bit different. And then I decided to use ferns. These ferns look like trees. When you're flying over, it's gonna look like you're over a foresty area. Then I went through and I added a little bit of a wheat field. Oh, I made a wheat field for this little house here. surrounded by trees. I made some cars using some buttons, so from up top it'll look like there's a bunch of cars driving on the streets. I added a little bit of a chimney so that there's some animation going on down here. And then on this side, I wanted to make another giant wheat field because I liked the way the other one looked so much. I wanted to make a bigger version, and then I decided to make a little barn that goes with it. I wanted to build a little house on the water, kind of based on R&Rs from Lab Season 3. And finally, I expanded the walls to go all the way around the entire town and enclose the entire ride into a single area so we know where to finish and what I need to fill in to complete the ride. And then to fill the remaining space, I just made a big forest here with a bunch of tall ferns with some little ferns mixed in there. And we are back once again with our completed build. Our ride is officially ready to be ridden. How about we give it a try, shall we? Our beautiful cloud, our beautiful hot air balloon is ready for us to hop on and go for a ride around this little small town that I've created. And I can't reach the button. Okay. What about from this big? Can I reach it? No. Okay, that's fine. Let's just click it and then get on the ride. Okay, perfect. Here we go. Oh, yes. Look at this beautiful scenery. Oh my goodness. Look at all those little houses and the water. I have added a shipwreck down below. Look how cool that is. All the little fishies down there as well. And we are already done. That's the whole ride. It's a very short ride, but it is pleasant. Yes, very pleasant. Lots and lots and lots to be done. Even the boardwalk area needs a lot of work. I want to add some places to get food, some little shops, some other things to look at. Make it full of life, full of movement. But that will have to wait to the future, where we will complete more rides and more areas. For now, let's take one last ride on this ride in the nighttime. This ride surely stands out at night. Let's take one last ride while we complete our little outro here. If you enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would really appreciate it. Go ahead and leave any suggestions down below in the comments for future rides, for ways I can improve the rides I already have, ways I can improve this area. And if you want to work side by side with me on this project, give any comments at any time, go and join my Discord down below in the description, and I will see you all in the next episode. Later!